Hello friends, today we are going to discuss a few questions which are like mid-level interview questions on joins. Sometimes they seem simple but they are a little bit tricky. So here I have bring in two such questions for you. Here it's not about like a left join or inner join. That problem is not about that. Its problem is more about like how you apply the joining condition. So let's jump into the first question. So the first problem is um, what the first problem saying that from the above given tables, list all the employees, list employees and their departments and job. So these are the output only for employees who are or have been part of more than one department. So we have given these three tables, okay, and what we have to find out all the employees. So what we have to include is like employee name or employee ID and then their department and job title, but output only for the employees who are part of or have been part of more than one department. So why it is little bit tricky, because if you start writing the query for this question without even understanding the data, you might get it wrong. Okay, so I can see these are employee department and employee department history tables. So this belongs to AdventureWorks database of Microsoft, which is a free database. I already have explained many times, so you can download and start working on these databases if you don't have it. So I am using this AdventureWorks 2022, and here is our question and these tables. Okay, so first, to tackle such problem, what we do, first thing what we do is we look into the data of these tables. It is not just like start writing the query. Okay, understand the data first. So we have three tables: employee, department and employee history. As the I'm going to select top 50 of all three so that we can see the data. And in output, as what we want is business entity ID of employee, and then we want a job title, and we want a department name. So these three things we want in output, but only for the employees which are part of more than one department. So how, I mean, how one employee can be part of one more than one department, right? So that's the first thing you should think of, like how a one employee in a company can be part of two departments. It is possible. I mean, it is not restricted, but let's see what the data says, right? So we have one employee table, which is clearly employee table, and we can see this business entity ID. We can consider this as a primary key here. The other is department table. If you see the department table, we can see the department ID and name and the group name, correct? And this also seems like department ID here is a primary key. Then the third table is about the employee department history table. This makes sense. So here I think we have like business entity ID, which tells about the employee, and then the department ID and the SIP ID. So here it tells like if the employee is in which department and from which date to what date, right? So sometime you can see the entries, like for employee ID 4, we can see we have two entries, one for the department ID 1 and one for department ID 2. And you can see here one thing interesting, that the start date, I mean the joining date maybe, or the first department start date for this employee is this, and then the end date is this, and then this employee is working on the other department, so like from the very next day. So that happens sometime. Employees are moved from one department to other department. That's quite possible. So we have such employees here. Now what we have to find out, employees, those are part of more than one department. Such one employee is 4. It looks like 4. Okay, so if you start writing query, you know now you have three tables like employee, department and employee department history table. These tables, then we will find the connection, right? If you try to find the connection, you can see that this table is not directly related to this table anyhow, because we don't have we don't have any department ID directly on this table, right? In this table. So here it is not directly related, but if you observe the third table, we have business entity ID here. So yeah, these two tables are related, so we can join these two tables, and then this table and this department table is I think join, we can join, they are related using these two columns, department ID column. So we got the joining condition as well. Now it's like matter of like, okay, join. So when we say all the employees, so we only want to talk about the employees which are present in the employee table, so we'll go with inner join. And then because the history table is related with the employee table, so just to write a query, and then you can see business entity, and then I am joining the department table on the department ID of this table. So F and F table and D table, this is D, they are related based on department ID. And then I am saying, okay, count the department ID of history F where it is. So then I group by, and then I'm saying having more than one department ID, and run this query, right? And you see, I'm not getting any output. What happens to here? If I join it, run it without this one, I am getting the output, but not the with having condition, right? So that's why I was saying, like, when writing such queries, you should be very careful, not just start writing. This is a case where I just started writing. So this is the case where, let's say, you just start writing the query, right? Did it? I'm doing some research. You can see here, right? So why I'm not seeing any? So when I am doing this, right? Why I'm not seeing the output? Not output, right? So we shouldn't tackle such question this way, that okay, we have just started writing all the queries in one query, join, and then apply the group by condition and having, right? This is wrong way to deal such problem. Okay, so how to tackle these problems? So if someone is asking this question in interview, you can ask first the cross questions, you can pause, you can take your time, analyze the data. First thing what we should analyze here, that okay, how many employees I'm getting. So like this, and here we have business entity ID, and then we have department ID, right? And I can just say count of department ID. What I'm doing, I'm just checking how many, and then I'm saying by this. So this will give you all the employees and their department IDs, account, right? So this is count, and I will say having this is greater than 1. So let's first check if there are any employees which are having more than one department ID history. Yes, there are these employees, correct? So we can see I can at least find 5 employees now. That's correct. Now this is correct. This is the first thing we did. So we must have some output. Okay, based on this condition, we must have some output. Now second thing what we can check is, okay, so what is the department ID for these ones? Okay, how we, so select asterisk from human resource dot departments. Okay, department ID from here. So let's say select. You can write it like anyway, because we are just analyzing the data from the same table, this table. Okay, and I will say department ID where business entity ID in, like, I know now here I'm getting more than one, but as I am doing in, I should have just one output in the subquery. So yeah, this is how I. So here I was getting 5. Now check here, I am getting these many departments, right? And this is from, so let's say department ID, and business entity ID. This is these two output I want here. I'm analyzing the data. Okay, first I checked if there are employees having more than one department. Now I am checking, okay, what is the distinct for these people, what are the distinct department ID, right? So I can see for this I'm getting 3, for this guy I'm getting 2, 2, 2, 2. So these are the department IDs I'm getting. Now if you see here, just remove this is not needed for analysis purpose. How many distinct department ID we got is 9. Now I will check here in this table, department table, where department ID in. So I am expecting 9 here. Yeah, I got all these 9. So this is how I am just matching the data. So whatever the output of this one, we are getting it here. All 9 I'm getting. So the data is present. So now we can start writing our final queries. So how we can start writing this query, right? First is we can use the CTE, or other we can use a derived table using subqueries. So let's have a CTE first. So first what I will do, I will take this query, I will start writing this. So create, sorry, not create, so with CTE1 as, I will write this query from this table, will say find the business, and you got this output, all the business entity ID. Now the second thing, now we got our first table, we want only these output. Now we will start writing the query using our employee table first, right? Because we want the employee ID and employee title. So I will say select asterisk from this table. I will keep it as an A, and then here I will say A dot business entity ID and A dot title, and then I will join this table using CTE1 as a B on the CTE I created here. I will keep only business entity, what are the part of A and B, and then I will join the third table. So as we want department in our final output, I will join the original table again. So why I join this one? Because this will just work as a filter condition only for business entity ID, which are a part of this. That's why. And then I will use original table. This I will name it as a C, and then this join condition I will apply on A dot business entity ID is equal to C dot business entity ID, and then I want this join to be used for the department table, final department table here, and this table. So because I want the title and the department name, so I will give it T, and then I will apply on C dot department ID is equal to D. So this table just worked. This table here, the C table, I'm not using any column from this table. This table just worked as an this table only. So because I wanted to use the department ID so that I can use it in the select query, I can use this as an D dot department ID or department name here. So let's say D as a department name. And now you see, let's try run this query now, and you see the output. Now, okay. Now, if we observe the output, we can see that there are multiple rows for some of the employees, and that is because of one-to-many condition, but which is fine as long as the department name is different. So when the when one person got moved from one department to other department, that's generating one-to-many condition, but it's fine. That's the output what we are looking for. So how we dealt with this problem? First, we find all the employees which are having more than one department in the history table, and then we are using just this table in the join condition as just a filter table here. Then we are using this table again department history table because we want department ID. And you see so when this employee table, you will join with this table, you will only filter out only for these people because it's an inner join. And then so you have final output just this. Okay, now I'm just using this table so that I can get the department ID of these people as well, so that I can again join it with the department ID table, department table based on department ID, and I can fetch the department names. That's the only purpose here. So that's how we can deal with such problem. Okay. And now, what is the other way to do it? If you don't want to use CT, although the CT is the better way, but if you want to use, you don't want to use the CT, so we can write the same query using a derived table. Derived table means it will be exactly same here. What in place of CTE, we will be using this query directly here as our derived table. I will not call it CT then. So you see, so this will become a table itself now, which says B, and then this should give us the same output. Yeah, the same output as the previous query. If you run together, you will see the same output. Okay, so one is the derived query way, other is the CT. So sometimes the joining conditions are not and that simple that you can just join them directly. Sometimes you have to derive an intermediate table based on the condition given. Okay, so that's how we solve the first question. Now coming to the second question here, the second problem we have is only if given the employee and department tables as above. So only these two tables, not the history table. Interesting. Then find employees for find the employees for production, sales, and marketing department, where employee roles are production control manager, sales manager, and marketing manager. Okay, so this is this problem. So like we get the requirement like these only in the real world data analytics scenario, data engineering world, when you will be working with your clients, because the clients are mostly, if you are working with the salespeople, mostly you will be working with the salespeople, marketing people. So salespeople are mostly non-technical people, and their requirement always comes as a like this only. Okay, they don't know how you will join your queries. Mostly they don't have that much knowledge, or they don't want to have that knowledge that how you will join, how join works, or how the case works. But this is our requirement. Okay, so we will translate this requirement using these two tables, and we will try to translate it. As now you have these two tables, you already seen it, employee and department. If you want, you can pause the video and try to solve this. What requirement is that find out all the uh, employees and their departments. If the tables are giving only the employees from the production, sales, and marketing departments, where the employee roles are production control manager, sales manager, marketing manager, and for the rest of roles you can map as a general manager. Okay, so let's, if you want, you can pause the video and you can try it, or let's go jump and try to solve this problem. Okay, so as the problem says, we have two given tables. One table is employee and the other table is department. And if we have only two tables, right? So in our previous problem, we have already seen that in this employee table, okay, we don't have department ID or department name, nothing. Okay, so employee table doesn't have department ID, and here we have only department ID, right? So there is no joining condition between these two tables. Okay, that's the first problem we got. Now how to join these two tables when there is no joining condition? Okay, so this problem is all about that one. So in the data analytics, you will so the cases arrives where you will not have a clear-cut joining condition between the two tables. Sometimes you will have only two tables, no proper dimension, and then still you have to join them. So that in those cases, we sometimes write the hard-coded cases to join the two tables, and this is one such case. Here, if I will just write this query, not top 50, everyone, okay, from the employee table A. And as I cannot join the other table department as a B, but still I will write, right? Now, so everything comes on this A dot, right? And we don't have join condition, right? But if you carefully read the question, what the problem is saying, that find employee for the production, sales, and marketing department. Okay, so departments names are production, sales, and marketing. Okay, and what we have to map is wherever when it's saying the role of employee should be production control manager. So if you see here in the job title of employee, we will see somewhere production control manager, if there are any. Yeah, we have production control manager. So first thing, you have to analyze the data. This is what I'm doing, analyzing the data. For the sales, we should be having sales manager somewhere. We must have sales manager somewhere. That's why this question is given. So let's say we have sales manager somewhere, okay? Or if we do not have, we'll not see that in the output. And then we have marketing manager somewhere. So yeah, marketing manager we have, sales manager we must have somewhere. And so now we got it that, okay, in one table we have role column, that's correct, and other table we have the department column, right? So the department name is simple, right? So I will say that, okay, join A dot role, which is job title, equal to B from the department table, where name. Now this name is not a straightforward matching. So in that cases, what we use in SQL is the case, okay? And this is such case where we will hard code one value to other value. So I'm saying case when this B dot name is equal to sales, right? Then this should be translated as a sales manager. This is what the requirement is saying. Okay, so this sales should be sales manager, and this is the first condition. And what is the second condition, right? Second condition is when P dot name is marketing. So I can see here marketing. So this should be marketing manager. So only people who, like, we are mapping that, okay, only the marketing department, sales department, and the production department. So when, and then the third is when it is production. We can see production somewhere here. Be production, yes, we have a department production. So then the role should match, which is job title, should match with this one. And for the rest of the cases, it says else general manager. So I will say for rest of the cases, if there is any general manager, that's the general manager. And you know how we write the cases and we end the cases here. That's why we should know the fundamental of SQL. I have created one end-to-end video on SQL fundamental basic. That's a very long video of more than 4 hours, but I have covered these topics in basics of these topics in details. So now I will try to run this, and I will just take, okay, what's the output they want is that we want A dot business entity ID, A dot job title, and then we want B dot department name as department name. Let's run it. Let's see output. Okay, so we got two output. Okay, so it means we have one marketing manager and we have one production control manager, but we don't have sales manager. We can check this data here if we have anything. So let's say 100. Yeah, let's check we have anything. So quickly I will go to S for the sales. yeah, we have all the sales representative, but not the manager. So if let's say the question says all the sales people should match with the sales representative, if I run with, I will get the sales representative as well. You can see this, correct? And there is no output for the general manager. It means from the job title, no one matched the general manager. We can come to G. I don't think there is anyone from ABCD. G, no. Yeah, so that's why. So no one as a general manager, but what we have, let's say we have CEO, chief executive. So let's say in place of other I. So what actually we want to see in the report is like, okay, only the sales manager, so control manager, marketing manager, only those people there we want to have the information. So that's the query about. So you see, when I did with the chief executive officer, I got this one, rest this one, and whatever is matching. We can like deal with such conditions. Sometime we get this problem where you don't have a clear cut matching columns column values in the two tables. You can take an example. So let's say one is customer table, other is employee table. Okay, another. So one is customer table, yeah, in India, and other is employee table. So this is a Flipkart example, let's say, and the customer address. In the customer address section of this customer table detail, you say in state, right? The names are given like Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh. These are the customers. But the employee, right? If in the employee table, these states names are MP, UP, right? So in such cases, if you want like, okay, how many customer and employees are from the same state, right? So then you know that, okay, we have a state column in the two tables, but we don't have exactly matching values, right? In that case, what we can say for, so let's say Maharashtra will be Maharashtra only, right? Karnataka, but some states like UP, MP, right? They can have such name, right? Uttarakhand, or not Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, sometime we call HP, right? So we can write cases only for that, okay? For MP, translate to Madhya Pradesh, for UP, translate to Uttar Pradesh, and for rest one, whatever comes as an state name. Oops. Many a time we get such problem, okay? So it is not only about like, okay, here you are applying left join or right join. If I apply left join, right, all the people will come in this table. We know it's simple, but then department is null, and this is not the requirement um, in this query, right? The requirement is this. So it's not about only finding out, okay, if it is a left join or right join. The most complex problem comes from on this on condition. So such two conditions we discussed today. I hope you liked it. If you like these videos, please like and subscribe my channel. Thank you.